overnighter. I knew I was going to go out. I was planning on going in the works car with my burger, but I was watching that programme was on the other night on Channel 4, where basically they've got all them spy agencies, ex-police, all things like that, and they'll hunt you for 28 days. I was shouting at the telly at some of the things that the people were doing on there, ringing home and things like that. Every time they got somewhere safe, using a phone. So, like I say, I knew I was going to go out, so I thought, no preparation whatsoever. They had an hour to get the stuff together and disappear off. I walked to the fridge, grabbed the carton of milk out, grabbed my car keys and got in my Land Rover. So I've not even filled my water tanks up, nothing. I can fill them up pretty much anywhere. So I've just got him set off. I always keep plenty of fuel in the vehicle. I don't like keeping lots of water in just in case it goes off, because it's not something that's difficult to fill up anywhere. I can pump from any water source to filter it. So yeah, that's it, we're heading out, we'll see how we get on. Wonderful modification that I've made, I've had this thing ages and I've just not had time to fit the thing, is this. I like that. It was only a cheap and cheerful Chinese special, but with the blind spots that I've got, I mean, look what I can see out of my mirrors. Absolutely nothing. They barely cover anything more than the body, which I could put the Wolf mirrors on it, but the previous owner tried that and he said they just vibrate all over the place. So I'm having some custom made lorry mirrors at some point. But that, I can see who's behind me now. I can see if there's a police car there, anything. And when rehearsing, oh, just night and day. Why haven't I done it? Anyway, let's get on the road. That'll be going for a second. Just saw it tearing up behind me. Well, we wouldn't be camping in Yorkshire unless we had this, would we? This is what I love about the woods. You go outside here, it's miserable, it's throwing it down, it's grey, it's cold. You come in here, there's water drops coming down from the trees. It's still quite warm, still quite humid. It's just nice, it's quiet. We're going to stop at a different end this weekend. We're going to stop over at the cabin. There's Alf Stewart's rape dungeon just there, container with all the bits in and that end, because tomorrow someone else has got used to the woodland, so I think this will be the spot for tonight. I think I can hear another vehicle coming as well. Just want to say, last few videos I've put up, don't know why, got loads more thumbs up, loads more comments, and it's not feeding the ego, but it's kind of why I do this. I like the feedback. I put a lot of time into, you know, I do this stuff anyway. I always have. I've been doing it since I was a kid, and I lived in the middle of nowhere building dens and just never really grown up. But since I've been filming it, I did it as a video diary. People started to watch them. I've put more effort into it. I've put a hell of a lot of money into it with cameras and computers and other things that I wouldn't buy unless it was for YouTube. And it's kind of the feedback, the thumbs up and people commenting. It's nice to see who watches the videos when they comment. It's what makes it. It's the conversation. It's, you know, it's when you go somewhere and someone comes up to you and say, oh, you're that guy that builds the off-road caravan or the camper van, or goes out and rubs sticks together and eats cold food, you know. But yeah, that's what makes it so. All the people that's giving the thumbs up and commenting, thank you very much. And to the people that just watch and you know, thank you. I can see the views are there and everything. It's just nice to have the little thumbnails. On the same note, Social media, Instagram. I'm on Instagram. I put a lot of stuff on there that's not so much, it's not all just this. There's, you know, you'll see if I'm quiet like the last couple of weeks ago, you'll probably see why I've been quiet, because I've been building a conservatory with my dad on the back of my house. Again, that's how I get the money to do these things, is I do a lot of stuff myself, or I get friends to help me and then do something in return for them. So if you notice I haven't been out much, it's because I've been building conservatories and digging footings out for my workshop, trying to get it done before winter, because otherwise I'd have no money if I was paying other people to do it. Yeah, so that's Instagram. You'll see bits on there. Facebook. Now, I don't know why, the last probably month I've had loads and loads of friend requests of people I've got no idea who they are. I see that they've got some friends in common and stuff, but the picture will be something odd, like a knife or a dog or a cartoon or something, so I've got no idea what you look like, and then a name, which you might talk to me on YouTube, but realistically, sorry, I can't put two and two together with just a random name or picture or something like that. So unless I've been talking to you for a while, or you've messaged me and said, hello, it's such and such off YouTube, been following you, this, that and the other. Yeah, Facebook, I've had that for years and years and years. That's more of a personal thing. Don't take it the wrong way if I don't accept your friend request. I've got no idea who you are. If you want to talk to me on Facebook, I've got a page called Bug Out Vehicles UK. It's the UK one. So have a look at that, jump on that page, I'll add you onto that one if you put a request in to be on that page, talk to me a bit on there or something like that, or join in with the conversations and go from there. But no, Facebook, I don't just let anybody on there. I've got a lot of pictures on there, so that's more of a personal thing. So yeah, that's my waffling on for a bit, so I think it's time to get some dinner or just generally mooch about, because I don't know, it's not normally this quiet. It's lovely. So just before I decided to set off this morning, I got this, it's eBay special. It's about 15 quid. What it is, you've got your outlets there for it's 5 volt, so that's for charging your phone and other USB can't get my words out, accessories, and obviously the usual 12 volt cigarette lighter, just your fag lighter output. The main reason I wanted this one, I've got another one somewhere as well that I'm going to put in the front, but I wanted this switchable. So when I'm camping, this can be turned on, and I can charge stuff, leave it on the side here, and I can still get it from the back door. I've also bought some LED lights to go in the awning, which I'm going to have on the trailing lead. So when I've got the awning out, the trailing lead will just come and plug in here. That way there's no sockets, outlets outside, where I know all these things are waterproof. They say they're waterproof, but water gets everywhere, so I'd much rather have it plug in on a trailing lead. Also, while it's on, I can keep my eye on the battery voltage. It's just something I really like to keep on top of. I've got the split charge system, however I haven't got the second battery yet, so I'm still always nervous when I'm charging things or I'm out for a few days that the voltages are okay and I'm not going to get stuck trying to start the vehicle. So yeah, right, so I've got power to here. What this is, basically you've got power that comes in and you split the pos and neg of each one. So you've got pos and neg coming into each side here, and then you've got one line out, and you share a negative throughout the vehicle. You can earth it at any point of the vehicle, but eventually you're going to get failure, and that's one of Land Rover's worst things, is they earth all over. And over time people slag Land Rovers off, but really they're slagging the reliability off of vehicles that have been on the road for 20-30 years, most of which have had DIY maintenance the whole life. The other side of things is as well, Land Rovers are far more capable than most off-road vehicles, and the owners of them do push them and push them and push them, which gives catastrophic failures later on in life if they're not maintained properly, which very few are maintained properly. They run until there's an issue, which whenever you get an issue there's usually 3 more issues not far behind it. My little rant on Land Rovers anyway, but Carl, who you've seen with the black 110, he's old school mechanic. He's had his for, it's an ex-utility board, so it's been maintained properly. It's never been overly abused. It probably was a tow vehicle, it probably has done a lot of winching, However, they do have proper maintenance schedules. When that was taken out of the utility board, he bought it. He then has maintained it as and when it needs maintenance, regardless of where. When he's had an issue, he's sorted it. That is coming up to the 500,000 mile mark on the original engine, original gearbox, original axles. And all he's done is maintained it properly. So all these people that say, oh, Land Rovers aren't reliable, it's because there's a general thing going around that they do break down a lot. Well, that's because, out of the people I know, no one can afford a new Land Rover. Hardly any of them have got newer Land Rovers. They've all got, like myself, my last one was 30 years old, this one's about 25 years old. They've been battered around all around the world. See, I'm going to get issues, I know I'm going to get issues. Like I've got a bit of rust down in the footwells at the minute that needs addressing. Realistically, if I had a 25-year-old Ford Escort, would that need welding? Probably wouldn't be on the road, it would have been scrapped years ago. That's my take on it anyway. It's more of a maintenance thing and how you look after things. And instead of waiting for it to fail catastrophically, catch it earlier on and put your hand in your pocket then. So anyway, back to the earthing. So what I like to do is I like to earth everything back to, say, an earth point and then run it back to the battery itself. This way you get a much better circuit. Yeah, I could do a lot prettier job on that, and eventually I will do a prettier job on it, but I do my work in 2 stages. Some people, they like to do everything in one perfect first time. I don't have the budget for that. So what I like to do is I like to make it usable first time. Make everything usable and then replace it with nice. You learn on the first one, so if you cock it up, it doesn't matter, you're replacing it with nice. So yeah, we've cut that in now. So all I'm going to do here is, again, positives and negs. Each one of these needs a positive and negative. So what I'll do, I'll run to the first one, and then I'll piggyback off to the second one, piggyback off to the third one, and this first one here will run behind these cupboards, along the top, and bang into this switch here. So on an evening I can flick that switch, which makes this panel live when I pull up. This then goes back to a fused point at the battery. That is it. It is as easy as that. If you're not sure, seek advice on it, but personally I'm sure you can figure that out. Positive, negative, they all need it. You get these little things in the pack, so they clip on there. I always carry cable in the vehicle, because even if you just want to lash an exhaust up or tie something down, it's always handy to have. This costs next to nothing to have like a 25-metre drum of it, and I've been wiring all sorts with this. With it being flex, it's not a bad ampage. Worst case, if you needed it to set more, double up, triple up, whatever. It just gives you options. So I like to do this stuff in the woods or in the field. If this broke while I was out on a weekend drive somewhere, I know if I can fit it in the woods, I can fix it in the woods. It's as simple as that. I've got plenty of tools, odds, ends. I've just pulled these out. The only thing that I'm short of, that I've just noticed, is connector blocks, but I'll be in the works car when I get back and top that up. So I'll stick that on the list of things that I need. And away we go. Right, so there we go. Hopefully you can see what's gone on there. This is the back of the unit. So you've got your positive and negative here, which is supplied from this one here, which is supplied from this one here, which then is crimped onto this one. It sometimes irritates when you get these things that you just want, like the switch panel, where you've got one pos, one neg, job's done. But the beauty of this is you can swap these around, you can move them. It gives you your options. They give you these little fittings, so for the 10 minutes that it took me to do that and crimp these on, don't worry if you've not got the proper crimpers. If you've got a bit of strength to your grip and that, you can always use some pipe grips or something just to put you on. Give them a good crimp. I still personally think that will give you a better crimp than the cheapo cable crimpers that just put one little indentation in. And anyway, the only proper way of doing it is with the proper ratchet crimps, but this will work. This does give a tight fit, and I'd say personally for what I've done there is totally safe. I've got a trailing lead now. What I'm going to do is that'll run along the inside edge on the back so you can't see it into here. if I wanted to, I could run it that little bit further. There is a little cable channel along there through. I can go up and then into that switch there, power it from a fused point there, or I could run straight down into the battery. For now, I'm going to run it off here. Like I say, the electrics in this thing are getting altered anyway, so this is, it will put me on, it will work, it is safe. So yeah, let's get this fitted and see what works. Well, so I've had myself a nice little lay down for an hour and just chill out listening to the birds and what the trees moving and everything. This is my woody wood prepper stove. That's going to get some use tonight. So before I set all that up, it's time to pull my finger out a bit and got some jobs out of the way and go and collect some firewood. So I think best bet, because everything's a bit wet because it's been raining a lot this last 24 hours, is I'm going to head a little bit further into the woods where it's a bit thicker and find some the dead trees and take them apart. See what I can see. Well, my mates picked me up the other day. If you haven't tried this, very nice and it burns very well. I normally get my tobacco from the tobacconist and they measure it all out, but it always tends to be quite damp. As much as it's got a lot of nice flavour, it's very damp and it's hard to get lit and stay lit. So that's the first time I bought proper first time my mate's got me proper store-bought stuff, and it's decent. Ooh, what are these? Plenty of them. Oh, they're everywhere. Absolutely everywhere in these ruts. Anyway, so yeah, that's what I'm smoking this weekend. As a rule, I don't smoke. It's used to smoke cigars, but I got a mortgage, so that put an end to that. So it's the flavoured tobacco in a pipe now. That's me little, have a couple of beers and a pipe. Get in there. Well, sounds like we've got someone incoming. It's Andy. He's got the trailer on the back. Mr. Murder himself. Just enjoying the last of the woods before all the leaves come down and it all goes brown again. There's a lot falling though. There is. I reckon next time we come here it's going to be see straight through everything. I did a cracking job on that, mate. Even get your complimentary dead animal.
Everybody's using the Viking camp.
bang on that. This will be up in no time. I nearly brought my pickaxe to take some more of this away.
Imagine that's filled in a bit.
Oh yeah, yeah. Stick some mud in it and that, and get the clay oven in here. Tell you what, it'd be between that tree and that tree, and getting a hammock across here when it's all done, or just a couple of camp cots.
Hey, you got it?
Got all these leaves that have come down now. That's it, autumn's coming. And I tell you what, something else to bear in mind. I going down motorway the other day, a car had broken down in the hard shoulder, and there was a young woman with 2 little kids, and he was hammering it down. By the time I'd seen him, I went up to the next junction, came back round again, and luckily somebody picked him up. But for what it takes to put a waterproof coat and somewhat warm in the car, would you want your kids to the side of the motorway in pissing down rain? So something to bear in mind. It's time to put your winter gear in the car, and then your missus's car as well. Now this is a source of protein. Which tree was that one?
That was the chicken madras hairy tree with dead squirrel, chicken rogan badger balls, chamois squash ass squirrel kebab, Hayden fucking go see kebab.
You actually found the paddy field full of rice?
Paddy rice.
Huh?
When you open it, it's all got potatoes in it. Potato rice.
I'm not supposed to be here to look from me. It's written that fucking animal rights job.
Oh, don't fucking do it. If they come down here, mate, I'll run them over again.
How's about that then? That's for all the people that say we can't have guns in England.
20 years with Charlie and stuff. So we normally keep ourselves to ourselves. I mean, I do all that, you know, let the airsofters go off. And I kind of like site manage. I don't play, but
It was designed by Richard Franklin, I think it was Virginia. It's a 300 WSM Varmington. It's 125 grain ballistic tip at 4,000 feet per second.
Fantastic. There you go, so that's the Woody Wood Prepper. I suppose it's not a stove, fire pit. So all folded down. This is height adjustable. This goes all the way down if you wanted it down. 3 rings there. Get your jiggery pokery stick there, and all the legs are adjustable as well. This is uneven ground, so it's set up so it's all right. Heat shield all the way around, so the heat's booming back at us. Don't get much better. It's not as good for stealth camping as the other stove, but for keeping warm off of and just generally having a fire to sit around, fantastic. No scorch patch. Can you hear the geese? Can you see the silhouette of them? Morning. Amazing night's sleep. Best time of year this. Nice and chilly. I love waking up in a nice chilly morning, all warm. Now someone's going to be like, look, you got duvets, you got well, the way I look at it is do a few camps a year where I go out with very little stuff and test myself, and I know I can do it and I keep the skills honed.
that's probably about how many times most people go out, and they don't get any grief because that's all the show. I do try and do at least twice a month, and out of them probably 2 or 3 nights for one of them, and I'll bring all this with me, and then what I'll do is I'll practice one little skill while I'm here, but while I'm doing it, I've got my comfort, but I'm still doing more. So the way I look at it is, I'm still doing the bushcrafty stuff, but I'm just doing more and more and more weekends, and I'd rather have a weekend out in the Land Rover with every possible thing and get to practice one skill that I want to do, which I still think's more than sitting on the computer pulling people going, oh well, that's not quite bushcraft, is it? It's poshcraft. I'd still rather be outside doing something. Anyway, a couple of cars have just pulled into the woods, so a generator will be fired up in no time at all, so I think it's time to start moving. It's just starting to get enough usable light to start mooching round, so time to stick the kettle on. Go on. Please excuse the horrible generator with a death rattle. They use it for the lights and charging and everything in the cabin. It's not much of a death rattle though, it's been going months. So absolutely fantastic night's sleep last night. It's amazing how well you wake up in the morning when you only drink cups of tea. But anyway, so yeah, breakfast, time to get a brew on, and just started tidying the back out. Got a lot of extra stuff because, well, I'm bringing things for people. Andy's brought me a new 12-volt telly, so I might actually mount that in here as well. But I've got to see. I have decided on definitely having the caravan door. Well, my mate's got me that now, so that's going to go offset here. I know a lot of people like this openness, but living with it, it doesn't work. Rain comes in, the heat goes out, mozzies come in, it just doesn't work. But it does give me, I can have a ladder here if I want to. I'm going to mount my high lift jack because I'm sick of that being on the floor and there's nowhere to put it that's safe. So that's going to get mounted on the back, and also a few other mounting points when I put it on. So it will be more practical, a lot more practical. It also allows me to then have another awning. If I don't want to get this one out like last night, I can just have a 1.4 awning straight out. So there's more options all the way around. Plus, by doing that, it's just one more step to it being a motorhome, and I can reclassify it with the DVLA. Then I can do 70 on the motorway instead of 60, and Vosa can't just randomly stop me for a quick nosy inside. So there are upsides to it. I think it will also make it easier to insure as well. So there you go, that's the morning update. Hi Andy. Don't you love to go to the middle of nowhere and have the sounds of nature?
Yeah, I like them squirrels. It sounds like they've got their fucking dramatic drills.
It's so peaceful here, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's so relaxing. There you go. It's all height adjustable on the legs, and this grill here. This is perfect height there for putting stuff on, but all that's adjustable if you wanted to adjust it. Isn't it all folds down? There we go, that's another camp done. Not a great deal done on the shelter that we're doing. Got a few jobs on the Land Rover done in the woods, fantastic. So really de-stressed from that one. I think I've got used to doing the bigger camps with the social side of things, and we know what it's like. You end up cooking this, you end up doing that, you end up tidying stuff up. You're running around talking to people, you're having a few too many beers, you feel rough in the morning, which is, it's amazing to catch up with people, but I feel fresh as a daisy now. It's nice to be able to get up first light, have a mooch around the woods and have a quick look round and get another hour's sleep. It's just that, I needed that, I would love that. So thanks for watching the video anyway, and thanks to those that like and comment and that. It's always nice to see it, and it bumps it up there in the recommended and it grows the channel. So I do want to put more effort into growing the channel, because I think it is starting to pick up a little bit now, and I'd say pleased as punch that people are actually watching it. So thank you. Have a safe one.